let's dive into a simple but really powerful idea that can completely change how we connect with people every single day. We're going to break down something called conscious communication. You know that feeling, right? Where you're trying to explain something, share an idea, or just connect, and it feels like your words are just bouncing off a brick wall. It is so frustrating, and we've all been there. This quote from George Bernard Shaw just nails it. We think we've communicated, we assume the other person gets it, but that assumption, that illusion, is exactly where things start to fall apart.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll look at why things get so tangled, what I call the communication maze. Then, we'll find our way out with the joy mindset. We'll break down J, O, and Y, and then talk about the amazing payoff when you put it all together.
All right, let's start with the problem itself. Our day-to-day conversations can feel like a maze, can't they? You know where you want to go, but somehow you take a wrong turn and suddenly you're just lost, disconnected. So why do we get lost? Well, it's because most of the time we're communicating on autopilot. We're just reacting instead of really engaging. And that creates all this static, this messy noise of assumptions and only half listening that leads to so many arguments and missed connections. But what if you had a compass for that maze? Something to guide you back to clarity? Well, that's exactly what the joy mindset is. It's a super simple, easy to remember framework that helps you make a huge shift in your conversations. And at the heart of it is this idea of conscious communication. It's basically like flipping a switch. You're deliberately moving from that reactive autopilot mode to being intentional, being authentic, and most importantly, being clear. And here it is, the whole framework. J-O-Y. Just 3 little letters, but they stand for 3 really powerful actions. So let's break down what each one of these actually means, starting with J. The J in joy stands for just be present. Seriously, this is the bedrock. It is the absolute foundation that every single good conversation is built on. If you don't have this, nothing else is going to work. So what does it really mean to be present? It's not just about being in the same room. It means giving your complete, undivided attention to that person and what they're saying. No phone buzzing, no running through your to-do list in your head. You are just there. So here's a little challenge for you. The very next time you're talking to someone, physically put your phone away, out of sight, and listen with one goal, to understand where they're coming from, not just to figure out what you're going to say next. It's a total game changer. Okay, so once you've laid that foundation of being present, the next step is all about what you say. And that brings us to O, which stands for own your message. Owning your message means you stop blaming other people for how you feel. It's about taking full responsibility for your own thoughts and emotions and then expressing them clearly. It's not about pointing fingers, it's about sharing your own experience. And the best tool for this is the classic I statement. Think about it. Instead of saying, "You made me feel angry," which just makes people defensive, try something like, "I feel frustrated when." See the difference? One accuses, the other explains. It's so much more powerful. And that brings us to our final letter, Y. And honestly, this might be the most transformative part of the whole thing. Y stands for yield to understanding. This is a massive mental shift. So many of us go into conversations, even subconsciously, wanting to win, to prove our point. Yielding means you let go of that need to be right. You decide that the most important goal isn't winning, it's that you both walk away understanding each other. So how do you do this? The secret weapon here is curiosity. Genuinely, just be curious. Instead of planning your counterargument while they're talking, ask open-ended questions like, "Can you help me understand that better?" Or, "What's your perspective on this?" These questions open doors instead of building walls. So you're being present, you're owning your message, and you're yielding to understanding. What happens when you actually put J-O-Y together? Well, you get the clarity payoff. You move from that constant state of confusion to real, genuine connection. I mean, just look at this shift. We move from being reactive to being intentional. We trade in that vague, ambiguous language for clarity. We stop being defensive and start being open. It changes the entire dynamic. And the results of making this shift are huge. Your relationships get stronger. You actually reduce conflict because you're not fighting to win anymore. Your influence grows because people feel heard by you, and you get to show up as your real, authentic self. That's why this stuff really matters. Now, before we wrap up, I want you to remember something really important. Nobody's expecting you to do this perfectly. You're going to slip up, you're going to fall back into old habits, and that's totally okay. The goal here isn't perfection. It's just the intention to try. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What is one conversation, just one, that you can bring a little bit of joy to today? Whether it's with your partner, a coworker, or a friend, how can you practice being a little more present, owning your message, and yielding to understanding? Go find some joy.